What's happening, guys? Back at you with the nerd video. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 4. Basically, it's going to be my thoughts on it and basically kind of like a review. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we have the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 4 that uh, officially finished with the release of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but they kind of said like Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special was a sort of epilogue to Phase 4. So there's a bunch of projects that we had released during Phase 4, and we got the introduction of the new Disney Plus series that they released. A few of the shows that they released on Disney Plus for streaming. So we got the introduction to those. But yeah, like I gotta say, it was kind of a short phase. Honestly, it was kind of a short phase. Really under 2 years. It was basically under 2 years this phase lasted, but we had a lot of releases for shows and movies, probably more than any other phase that there has been. So they did a lot. They did a lot with this phase. Just overall introducing new characters, giving us new stories and things like that. So basically, my thoughts on this phase was honestly, I don't really think there was anything bad about this phase. Not really to me, me personally. For the most part, I still was able to enjoy a majority of the stuff they released. There's a lot of good things. There's a lot of great things in this phase. I know that a lot of people kind of are giving it a bad rap or complaining about some stuff about Phase 4, and just in my opinion personally, I don't think this is a bad phase. Like they did a lot of good things and a lot of great things in my opinion. There wasn't really anything that I didn't like about this phase. Like when it comes to the movies and shows and stuff like that, like for the most part, I enjoyed most of the shows and most of the movies. Of course, maybe some more than others. But for the most part, I don't think anything in this phase was particularly bad or anything like that. I know a lot of people have been really hitting hard on this phase, saying a lot of bad things about it and things like that. But it's like I don't know. It's like the way this phase is, it's kind of a building. It's a building phase, basically. You know how we had the phases 1 through 3 with the Infinity Saga and all that for phases 1 through 3. Basically, phase 4 is starting a whole new arc, a whole new saga, and of course they called it the Multiverse Saga. So this is basically phase 4 is a basically the phase 1 of a new saga, a Multiverse Saga. So we're getting 3 phases: phase 4, phase 5, and phase 6, all compiled together. They call it the Multiverse Saga. So phase 4 is basically like phase 1. It is building up and is building up that saga of the multiverse saga. That's basically what it's doing. So the one thing I think is that I don't think people realize that phase 4 is basically like phase 1, where it's building back up a new saga, a new arc, a new story. I don't think people really I don't think people really realize that, and that's why they're kind of bashing on it some, and they're just like, they're always looking for what's the connection here. Does this connect to this, or does that connect to that? And there are some things that do connect throughout phase 4, yeah, but I mean there's a couple of things that not necessarily connect, but of course they're part of the MCU, so it's all taking place within the same basically universe. And even though we don't have those specific connections throughout, it doesn't make it like completely bad phase. And it's like you don't really need to bash on a phase just because there's not those connections throughout, just like we got through like other phases like phase 2 or phase 3 or something like that. Um, so I think that's one of the reasons why people kind of bash on it, is because they don't realize that this is basically a building phase. It's basically like a start over for the new saga. Is basically like phase 1 all over again. And that's why me personally, that's how I look at it. Like that's how I look at it. It's a building phase. It's a starting over phase. Um, to building up to a greater, bigger story and bigger arc, and of course the bigger saga overall for over these next three phases, for phase 4 and phase 5 and phase 6. um a lot of great things. I think they did a lot of great things with this phase. One of the good things I think they did was that they introduced us to the new Disney Plus streaming shows. They released a lot of shows on there and stuff, and basically giving us stories to characters we already know, and also to introducing new characters. I like the way that they set up this phase to where they were introducing new characters, so we're going to be seeing a lot of those characters going forward in this new multiverse saga. So I like the introduction of the new characters that they brought in. A lot of great new characters like Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, She Hulk. A lot of other great characters like that that came in that we're going to be seeing in the future and all that stuff. So I'm definitely excited for those characters in the future, see what they bring to the MCU and this whole multiverse saga overall. And we got sort of continuing stories from other characters we already know. Um, basically the kickoff to this phase was WandaVision, which was a great show. Basically getting that story between Vision and Wanda, and her officially becoming Scarlet Witch, and I like how it ties into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where she basically is almost like the villain of the movie. So I like how that ties in, and then we get other things like Loki, which kind of opens up the door to the multiverse and timelines and stuff like that. And then we get these other shows that may not necessarily connect to the overall story, or that they don't seem like they connect to the overall story, but it's still fun and still kind of enjoyable to watch those series and being able to see them and introduce us to new characters and getting these stories of characters and all that. So I still enjoyed those series, and I think they're doing a good job with the special presentations. Special presentations, I know we only got two so far, but I really enjoyed those special presentations. Werewolf by Night was amazing and awesome. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special was a fun watch and such an enjoyable watch. So hopefully in the future they're able to continue with the special presentations. I know a lot of people have been complaining about the shows a lot and stuff. So maybe they could kind of switch over to doing a little bit more special presentations if they want to try to introduce new characters or tell a quick story, sort of. Maybe they could kind of switch and go into more special presentations, release more special presentations instead of having these shows. Because one of the things about the shows that I've been hearing about, a lot of complaints about the shows, was that a lot of them seemed dragged out, and a lot of them seemed rushed in the finale episodes, and just overall the way that the series play out, they're kind of extended long movies. You get some of the shows that were like 9 episodes, and they might have been like 25 to 30 minutes each, or you get these ones that were like 6 episodes long, and they will be like 40 to 45 minutes long. Um, so they're pretty much like, they're telling you stories, and they're pretty much like extended long movies. In a way, they're kind of extended long movies in a way. So, but some of the biggest complaints I heard about or hear people talking about is that they feel dragged out, sometimes feel slow in some parts, and then sometimes the finale episodes feel really rushed and all that stuff. So, yeah, like I was saying, if they can, of course, we're going to get some more shows, but like if maybe we could get some more special presentations to where they could tell a quicker story with characters, and maybe that could help with some of the people that have been complaining about them, and just get those special presentations out. I really enjoyed the special presentations so far, what they're able to do with them. I like the shows too and all that stuff, and I do understand what people are saying about the shows being kind of dragged down and stuff like that, but for the most part, I still can enjoy the shows for what they are and all that, and still find some enjoyment in watching them and watching the shows. So I'm not complaining too much about the shows. Of course, there's some shows that are better than others, but for the most part, I still find some enjoyment in watching these shows. So I still watch the shows, and I still kind of enjoy them, and still like them, and stuff like that. And introducing new characters, telling these stories with existing characters and all that. So I still kind of enjoy the shows. When it comes to the movies, it's kind of a mixed bag on the movies for some people. For me personally, there wasn't a movie that I really hated or disliked or anything like that. I think they're all good movies. There's some that are definitely better than others. But I believe we had like what 7 movies released in this phase. So there's definitely some movies that are better than others, and some that don't necessarily stand the test of time for me personally. I'm not saying I dislike them or anything like that, but it's just a matter of how they stand the test of time and stuff like that, and rewatchability and stuff like that. But nonetheless, I don't think there was any bad movies in Phase Four. I still was able to enjoy most of them, and I enjoyed some more than others, of course, and of course there were some of the movies that were better than others also, but I thought they released some pretty good movies. They released some pretty good movies and all that, and it definitely was interesting seeing this phase of movies with them telling a story. One of the things I would say about this phase, it seemed like this phase was a little bit more experimental. They were trying to do new things with this phase, and uh, apart from the previous other 3 phases, it seemed like they were trying to do new things. I could kind of tell that they were trying to do new things, and it almost seemed like it was sort of an experimental kind of phase. And I mean, there's people out there that like the formulaic movies that we do usually get, and there's other people that kind of like these movies that we were getting in Phase Four. I mean, like I said, like I like the movies that they released during the Phase Four. Of course, some more than others, and I mean, I like the experimental side that they were able to do with Phase Four. It was kind of interesting, and seeing them being able to do new things with the movies and with the shows also. It was very interesting. It was interesting. It was definitely an interesting phase, um, and it was something. A lot of people, I hear a lot of people complain about, like, there was so much that they released during this phase that they felt like it was really just all about quantity instead of quality. And I mean, I get what they're saying. I really do. I get what they're saying with quantity over quality, and let's just say for what it is. Not everything in Phase Four was treated the same. Like, it was. There's definitely some stuff that was better than others. There's definitely some great stuff. There's some good stuff. There's some great stuff, and there's some epic stuff. And whenever I release the future video, I'm going to be doing a ranking of all the Phase 4. That'll be shows, movies, all that stuff. So that video will be coming out pretty soon. So y'all can see how I actually thought about each thing and how I will rank it throughout the phase and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely some stuff was there's the way it was interesting. It was definitely interesting. This phase was definitely an interesting one, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the next phase. I get what the people are saying about how this phase may not have been the best or anything like that. I get what they're saying, and I'm not saying that this was a bad phase or anything like that. But I get what people are saying when they say that this phase wasn't that good or anything like that. And the thing I say about that is that I'm along for the ride that they're doing right now. Like, Marvel has done amazing, great things. They have earned our trust, and I highly do believe in that. Like, I believe in Kevin Feige. We trust in the whole Marvel team and all that stuff like that. Like, I believe in that. I trust them to do good things and put out good things and stuff like that. Um, so with that being said, like, I do trust them and all that stuff. But with that being said, I get what people are saying, and also too, um, with that being said, like, when it comes to the future, like we have Phase 5 and Phase 6 still left, and Phase 5 is about to start with Ant-Man and the Wasp's Quantumania. Um, if they continue, I'm not, like I said, I'm not calling Phase 4 a bad phase, but I get what people are saying. Now, if they continue on and then by close to the end of Phase 5 or beginning of Phase 6, it's still like not cohesive or anything like that, then maybe an argument could be made for why it's not like that, or why are they doing what they're doing and stuff like that. But like I said, Marvel and Kevin Feige we trust. I do trust what they're doing. I'm along for the ride and seeing what they're doing. And but yeah, like I said, maybe down the line, if they're still not cohesive on things and things are not adding up, or it's not this, I'm not gonna say gets better, but I'm gonna say if it doesn't, like, just the cohesion of stuff, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, just cohesion stuff. If it's still not adding up by the end of Phase 5 or beginning of Phase 6, by that time, then I could see an argument being made. You know, but like I said, I'm along for the ride. I'm gonna see what they're going to be doing over these next two phases of Phase 5 and Phase 6. I'm definitely interested in seeing what they're going to be doing. They have a great slate of movies coming out in the future, so I'm definitely excited for what they have in the future. Um, so I'm along for, like I said, I'm along for the ride. I'm gonna see what they're gonna do, and I'm excited for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and see what they're able to do with it and stuff like that. You know, so like overall this Phase 4, it was good. You know, I thought it was good. They did a lot of good things. Like I said, did a lot of good things. They did some great things, and they did some epic things. You know, a lot of things they did. So I'm not going to bash on this phase because I don't see a big enough reason to bash on it right now. If down the line, you know, if somehow changes my mind or something like that down the line, then maybe. But I don't really see that unless they just do something completely different. I don't know, whatever, something completely different. I don't know what they do. But as far as the Phase 4 is concerned, um, I enjoyed it for the most part. I enjoyed some stuff that they did. Of course, I enjoyed some stuff more than other stuff. Of course, I have my favorite stuff in Phase 4 that I continuously go back to and try to watch and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, like overall, I don't think Phase 4 was bad and anything like that. I'm definitely excited for the future and seeing what they do and all that in the future for the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So here's hoping too that it'll be good. You know, the multiverse saga, we're in full effect we're like getting into it and all that with this first phase. Um, so we'll see how the rest of the phases goes with Phase 5 and Phase 6, and seeing how this whole multiverse saga arc plays out. And I'm definitely interested in seeing how it plays out and seeing what they are able to do with this whole multiverse saga. So I'm interested in seeing what they're able to do in the future with all these movies, all these shows, special presentations, anything like that they put out. I'm interested in seeing what they are able to do and tell this whole overarching story. You know, I'm definitely interested in seeing what they do. But yeah, definitely let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are on Phase 4. But that's going to do it for this video. Hope y'all all enjoyed it. Remember, if you want to be a part of Team Legendary, all you got to do is subscribe and turn notifications on so you know when I post another video. Hope you all have an awesome day. And remember, be legendary.